we're going to win the championship.
Say that one more time so that everybody here can
say that with your chest.
I didn't hear you. My earpiece.
Because they added Jimmy Butler the third. So what did you say?
81.
I'm sorry. I said I think we're going to win a championship, but I lied. We are going to win the championship.
Wow. That bold claim that Draymond Green made was literally last season around the All-Star break when they acquired Jimmy Butler. Was he contradicting himself in the long run? Is this an X and O situation that just didn't work on the court? Or is there something even deeper? Let's really dive into this, and as the video goes along, you can make your own conclusion.
He didn't say we're a dynasty that faded. He said we are a fading dynasty. Guess what? Steph Curry's in year 17. I'm in year 14. Klay Thompson, who's gone, would be in year 15. Steve Kerr is in his 12th year coaching, and he did not start coaching.
So Steve Kerr recently came out and said that the Warriors were a fading dynasty. Draymond Green echoes it on his podcast, basically saying, what's the big deal? Look at the ages that we're at, how many seasons we're in, you know, what you just heard. But we got to be objective here. That wasn't the narrative or the conversation we were hearing from the Warriors when they acquired Jimmy Butler. There was championship aspirations. They wholeheartedly believed in it. Despite their age, maybe it was at the back of their mind, but certainly not at the forefront as it is right now.
I would say, you know, you guys have been a solid defensive team and a not great offensive team. And Jimmy was just very critical of the defense.
Our defense is shit. Because it's not necessarily the numbers. Like, how do you feel when you're out there, you know? And if it's just letdown after letdown, it's bigger than the numbers, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we got great coaches. We're going to have a good scheme. But what about the force? We don't have that. I said we are individually fit awful.
A couple things here. One, notice how Draymond said it's bigger than the numbers. Despite the reporter pointed out that statistically they look good on the defensive side of the ball, but offensively is where they struggle, Draymond Green still pointed out that the defense needs to be better, and it's about the force and how they're approaching the game. Far too often we rely on these metrics, analytics to be the end-all be-all when we judge the game, rather than using it as at least a surface-level tool, in my opinion. Secondly, and this is probably the biggest point, he said that we have great coaches, they're going to come up with good schemes. You do not say that unless you have an issue with your coaching, obviously. So despite the little rift that him and Steve Kerr had recently, I don't think that's going to change overnight now that they got into a little heated exchange. So clearly, and he said it in this clip, we are individually effing awful, individually as the players.
I think everyone has a personal agenda in this league. But you have to make this personal agenda work in the team conference. If it doesn't work, then you kind of got to get rid of your agenda. Or eventually the agenda is the cause of someone getting rid of you.
And this is why I wanted to get deeper into this video. There's no sense doing footage breakdowns that I usually do when the vocal leader of your team has said, we are effing awful as individuals, the coaching strategy is good, and now he's alluding to players having agendas. Well, obviously that's not Steph Curry. He is the agenda itself for the whole team. So being honest, one of the first players that came to my mind as I'm hearing this and I'm trying to piece things up was Jonathan Kuminga, because there were so many speculations and rumors out there about him being frustrated with Steve Kerr and his role within the offense. The Warriors gave him a contract extension, $48 million for 2 years, and now as of recently he's getting DNPs. He's barely playing 10 minutes in the game, and I'm starting to think maybe the Warriors mismanaged that, because he had a lot of potential. At least when he played, he looked really good and put up numbers within the minutes that he got to play. But that also plays into my opinion that the Warriors have been trying to develop talent while still trying to win a championship, and you can't do both.
As a leader for him, you also understand what that comes with. You know, so with him, I say, be careful. Don't tell people too much. You know, because the more you tell people, the more they use it against you and try to tear you down. You know, so I think, you know, you can look at the trajectory of this thing and where it's all going, and we all believe that he's going to be one of the guys that take the torch and run with it. But be careful. Don't give people too much, because the moment you have a bad game, you know, something that our young guys haven't had to deal with because we're here. It's like when things go wrong, they don't get crushed. We get crushed, right?
Early in October 2025, Brandon Podziemski made some remarks about how he really wanted to be that next guy up once players like Steph Curry retire, Draymond Green, and then you hear Draymond kind of giving them a warning like, hey, you know, that's a big responsibility. Let's make you develop first before you get into that role. And the thing is, this goes into the personal agenda part, in my opinion. A guy like Brandon Buzensky wants to be the star. Jonathan Kuminga wants a bigger role. But the Warriors still have Steph Curry, which is why I said you can't try to win a championship and then try to develop players at the same time. You have to pick either or and commit to that mission. The Warriors did, and they picked, let's go try to get a championship. They got Jimmy Butler. In the process of that, players like Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Buzensky are not getting the full opportunity to truly develop. And you hear it in Draymond's response, because at some point they have to bear that responsibility and go through getting crushed.
We're an average team, and I think we have the potential for much more. So I believe in them, and I believe in our guys, our continuity that we've got from, you know, not only last year, but with Steph and Dre for, you know, 14, 15 years, whatever it's been.
I'm going to end things on that note. Y'all let me know in the comment section if you believe the Warriors have a great future ahead of them, or if they're going to be long days. Do you believe in the talent that they have going forward with Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Buzensky? Could that develop into something if you believe the future is great? All right. And also let me know, currently with the roster, do you think they could get a championship right now? Let me know, leave it in the comment section. And as always, salute for listening, like, share, and subscribe.